About author Randy Wayne White, our buddy, lives on Sanibel. Rode the storm out on Sanibel with his wife, Wendy. And I'm saying, how can we get a hold of him? And he just texted us, texted Rook. So we can get him on the air right away, right now.
Hang tight. Joe's looking at me. Hang on.
You're
Randy Wayne White.
Hail the flashlight king.
Hail you.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay, Joe. We just got hit by a Category 4 hurricane. Actually, it's Category 5, but we're quibbling. But I've gone at least 4 days without hearing Garage Logic, which is really starting to PO me.
Randy, is your house standing?
My house is standing. My wife, Wendy Webb, and I, my last name's White, her name's Webb. Not going to go into that, Joe.
Right.
We stayed in our house on the island, Sanibel.
Yep.
And the house is still standing. We have severe damage, as does everyone who has property on Sanibel. Both of our cars were flooded, including my almost brand new Ford Raptor rigged for any emergency except for 10 feet of floodwater.
Right.
But we did fine. We did fine. In 2004, as you may recollect, my old house on Pine Island, the next island from Sanibel, where you've been, by the way.
Right.
In 2004, I stayed in that old Cracker, Florida house.
Yes.
Category 5 hurricane, Hurricane Charlie. And it was intense.
Yep.
It was intense. And prior to this hurricane, I wrote to someone. I stayed in the house for Hurricane Charlie. I can't imagine anything being worse than that. Well, Joe, it was worse.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
As you look at the island, I know this is a difficult question. In fact, have you walked around? Have you seen the island, or have you stayed put?
No, I was on the island for the storm.
No. I mean, post-storm, have you wandered around the island to take it all in?
No, there is no wandering the island because so many trees down. Everything's coated with muck, mud, this clay-like, abhorrent kind of grease-like mud.
Right.
And the authorities, for very good reason, by the way, are not allowing people to return to Sanibel to look at their properties. But again, I stayed there through the storm, so I know what happened to my property.
Well, do you think the island is uninhabitable?
Well, that's a subjective question, Joe. Rookie would do fine because you could pilfer and pillage for food and drink.
Thank you.
Other people would have a hard time living without AC and running water, but it's habitable. But no, not under modern standards.
I guess what I'm leading up to is, have we seen the end of this paradise, or will it make a comeback?
It will definitely make a comeback. Absolutely, without a doubt. I'm so heartened by the reaction of my fellow Sanibelites, or whatever that pronoun is. And they've kind of rallied together at this hotel in South Fort Myers, the Crown Plaza. No electric, no running water there either, but by golly, the beds are dry. And Joe, that is just a luxury.
Right.
But the continuity of spirit, it is, we need to get out there. Okay, we need to get this fixed. My restaurant partners in the Dockports restaurants, we're already looking forward to how we're going to get this fixed. How are we going to take care of the staff? I've not heard one person say, we need to walk away. I will add to that, and I'm coming up to a police blockade here, and I'm going to have to talk my way in. I will add to that editor of a major newspaper contacted me about doing a story, and I probably will. But he said to me, Sanibel, you get these hurricanes. Why don't you just move out and turn it into a national park? Well, what is the term you use for that? that ephemeral thinking. What is that term? I've gone wisteria.
The Mysterians?
Yes, yes. Well, that's a kind of Mysterian question, isn't it? Why don't you just walk away and turn it into a national park?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there is a magic about Sanibel Island and Captive Island, and I tend to believe those islands choose us more than we choose them.
Mm-hmm.
People are unusual. Absolutely. The primary, most important thing that must be done after securing houses, after making sure everyone is off and in good health, is to repair the bridge to Sanibel, the
Right.
causeway.
Right.
That is the umbilical. How they are going to do that, I don't know, but they will, and we will. There's no doubt about it.
Are you driving something right now?
Yes, I am, Joe.
What are you
Did I
driving?
mention
You
that?
said your cars were destroyed.
Well, Joe, you know I'm an unusual guy. My beautiful Raptor. Have I mentioned that Raptor? I
Yes.
really like that Raptor.
Yeah.
Completely flooded. So after sticking out the storm, my wife and I guess the second night after the storm, I hear a voice outside my house on Sanibel,
Yeah.
and it's, "Hey, Dad." And I don't want to get emotional here, but it was my son.
Yeah.
And he had hooked up with a Navy SEAL buddy of mine who got a hold of another Navy SEAL.
They swam to you.
No, they came out by boat around the beach side on a very rough night after dark. Came to the house and evac'd my wife and I. And I went reluctantly, frankly, because I know that from experience that once I left the island, it would be very tough to get back on.
Right.
But no, they evac'd us out at night. It was incredible. And I spent all day yesterday back over at Punarasa, which is right where the causeway used to be.
Right.
Helping these same special op guys. I worked their radio comms, their radio ops, getting people back and forth, getting people off Sanibel who had stayed. So I spent the entire day doing that, getting people off. The day after the storm, on the radio, my handheld shortwave, and an addendum to this is I urge everyone, as of now, to get their doggone shortwave radio license. It is a lifesaver.
Right.
But anyway, I spent the day after the storm on Sanibel, on the radio with the Coast Guard and EOC, Emergency Operations Center, and I managed to call in 2 choppers to evac a lady with Alzheimer's, another elderly gentleman that really needed to get off the island. It's been a wild ride, pal.
Do you fear you're going to find some dead people on the island? Not you personally, but do you think that will be discovered?
Joe, I think it's a possibility. Of course, yeah. I don't know, and I'm reluctant to even hazard a projection. The surprise to me about this storm, and you can call me stupid, you would not be the first for staying there and renting out. The great surprise to me was the flooding, the storm surge. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Why was I surprised? They warn us about it every year. Here's why I was surprised. As I recollect, and I'm a history buff, the last time Sanibel Island was flooded completely with water was 1926. Mm-hmm. So in my way of thinking, a severe flood was unlikely, and statistically, I was right. In terms of my own judgment, I was dead doggone wrong. That floodwaters came in, it was like a river, mm-hmm. like the Mississippi at flood level. And it came flooding down our street right at first dusk that evening. And I knew my truck would be fine. I parked it in the most elevated area possible. I knew my truck would be fine if the waters did not get over, say, 5 or 6 feet above sea level. Mm-hmm. And the floods at my house, the waters were at least 9 feet, wow, just over 9 feet deep. It almost got to our house is elevated on stilts. It almost got up into the house. Well, we had a second floor, but, and I do want to add one more thing, Joe, and this is just me venting a little steam. Prior to this storm, I had a big time generator installed.
Mm-hmm.
I had it built, elevated on a scaffolding, strong scaffolding that was 12 feet off the ground. I had the generator installed atop it, all professionally done. It was a Briggs and Stratton. Listeners, keep that name in mind, Briggs and Stratton.
Mm-hmm.
The best damn generator they sell, elevated 12 feet off the ground. It did not flood. It did not get any flood water whatsoever in it. But Joe, when the winds hit maybe 60, 65, the paneling on that very extensive Briggs and Stratton generator flew off.
Wow.
Okay.
The winds got up to, I don't know, 155. Well, when the winds reached 70, the generator, Briggs and Stratton, brand new, stopped running.
Uh-oh.
And fueled by underground propane tanks, enough propane to easily have lasted my wife and I a month. We would have been fine. Had I bought a decent generator, not a Briggs and Stratton, and I bought a real commercially grade generator, as this was advertised to be,
Mm-hmm.
we would have been fine. So I tell you, I now urge everyone, be very careful when you buy stuff upon which you count on for your life system. Shop carefully.
Generac makes the best, Randy.
Well, I've heard Generac, I've heard Kohler, and I had other people tell me Briggs and Stratton. Trust me, Chris, I bought the best I thought I could buy. Briggs and Stratton is a laughable, sadly, over-advertised, overpriced.
We call
I'm
them
embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for them. I'm embarrassed for the
Randy.
family. I'm
Well,
embarrassed for the,
Randy. We call them Briggs and scrap them.
Are
I
you
can,
kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, you
For-
guys.
For years, I've called them Briggs and scrap them.
I can say with some certainty that we'll never have them as a client.
No, but
one's
we
out.
might have Generac because Generac is the best.
Randy, you are off the island right now.
I'm off the island, but I'm just right now heading back to hook up with my my special ops buddies who are still doing rescue comms or rescue ops, and that's why I'm going to be pulled over by the cops in just a second.
Okay, but can you get back on the island because of your special connections? Because the public cannot get on the island.
Joe, the Lee County, the city of Sanibel has said no one is allowed on the island,
Right.
except for rescue and emergency people. I am not going to, one, counter their authority. Two, I don't want to get in the way of the professionals.
All right.
I think it's unwise and just it would be a bad example to set. But I am going to get on a boat and with a photographer and just do a tour around the island.
Yeah.
But I will in no way, shape, or form compromise or get in the way of the police authorities. And I realize people who live on Sanibel and some are quite angry they're not allowed back on the island to see their property. I
Right.
understand their anger. On the other hand, I think Lee County, the city of Sanibel, the governor of Florida, they made the right decision when they said nobody allowed back on. But that's human nature, isn't it?
Yes.
Randy, it's Rook. Quick question. At
Rookie.
any point when the wind is blowing, the rain's pounding hard, and you're sitting across the table playing solitaire with Wendy, did she ever give you the "so we had to stay here"? Huh? Did you? She's tapping her fingers on the table. Was there any quarreling at all?
None whatsoever. My right hand to God. Thanks, guys. Hang on, I got to go through the police. Thanks, guys. I'm with Operation Randy Wayne White, the novel.
So you're trying again to get back in here?
No. I did radio ops all day. You're laughing at me, and I don't blame you.
No, I was here yesterday.
I did radio ops all day.
I was not forward. I was the one who said that.
Officer Keene, say hello to Joe Suchere. You'll be on the radio show.
Hello, officer.
Hello, officer.
They're saying hi.
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 There's a-
Huh?
Did,
Stay on his truck. It does.
no, it doesn't say on my truck. Doesn't say my name. It's just my truck. Did you
Trying
get?
to get you, buddy.
Well, no, I'm just going to help. Yeah, no, we want to go here, don't we? Yeah. I'm going to help the guys with radio ops again. And I did talk to the city of Sanibel. I had 2 weapons on my house that were not secured. Wait, this is on the radio.
Yeah, you might want to turn the radio off.
I'm being interviewed. So thanks, officer. Back on, Joe. Sorry.
It's all right. Hey, did Doc Forge get wiped off the map?
Not wiped off the map. The best person to talk to about that would be my partner, Marty Harity or Mark Marinello. From personal just knowledge, I know the Sanibel restaurant was damaged. It didn't look too bad to me, but I don't really know that much.
All right.
And I did make the mistake of telling someone that as far as I knew, the other restaurants were okay.
I hope you have not lost a manuscript or anything forthcoming. You're about due for a book, aren't you?
I've got a book coming out in May, a young adult Doc Ford novel. And
Yeah.
the young adult Doc Ford novels, I write them for adults,
Right.
but I just take out the profanity and
Right.
the sex scenes and
That's boring.
people can. Well, no, actually, the young adult Doc Ford novels, one of them is one of the best books I've ever written. Stingers. It's
Good.
highly recommended, but I don't want to go into that. There's no PR. I don't need to do it.
Moving forward, having gone through this, have you socked away any future book writings having gone through this hurricane?
Well, I've got a long-standing contract to write an autobiography, and well, you guys know me. I'm not the most boring person in the world, but I'm close.
No,
Close.
you're not.
So I'm just saying, why in the heck would anybody want to read about me?
Well, we're glad you and your wife are safe, and all the best, and we'll stay in touch.
Guys, I was not being flippant when I said I most miss listening to your show.
Oh, you're very
The
kind.
podcast, you are just a breath of fresh air, and you are often funny as heck. And I don't want to miss the high school hockey tournament this year and the haircut contest. And all
Right.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, just make sure,
Back and forth.
don't invite us down until everything's all fixed up,
Yeah.
okay?
Oh yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll make sure you get first class treatment, guys. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks,
Take care.
Randy.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye.
My son's wife's mother lives on
Son's
Sanibel,
wife's mother.
but I didn't know how to ask him to go see if she still has a place. She evacuated, and she does not know if her place is standing.
And I'm glad Randy phrased it the way he did, because I can imagine the frustration of wanting to get back to see how your property is, but he phrased it perfectly. You don't want to interfere with rescue efforts and people that are trying to.
He rolled right in, though, didn't he?
Oh,
He rolled right in.
Right.
I love how the officer was trying to give him the business, then couldn't hide the fact that he knew exactly who he was.
Oh man, I ate there.
That's fantastic.
Uh,
Godspeed to everybody down there.
smells